Fine, we're gonna.
Your dad would care more than she would.
You jamming to the song?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
You like it? Okay. Let me bring this volume down. Come on. Yeah, this is Jim the Key's bartender coming to you from Steve and Elizabeth's house. Here, my neighbors and friends in Key Largo. It's called Key Largo Comics this episode because Steve is the purveyor, the owner of the Key Largo Comics. Say hi, Steve.
How you doing, everybody?
Now, we met at the bar I work at. Yeah, and you actually there. If there were about 20 trees missing,
Right.
we'd be able to see my house from your house.
Yeah, as the crow flies, I think we're only about 100 yards away from
Yeah,
each other.
if that,
Yeah,
if that,
right.
maybe like 75. Right? Yeah, right around this bend here. So I know, and I'm pointing. Hey, the listeners, I'm pointing over my right shoulder right now. I'm facing north, northeast right now. We have a beautiful yard here. It's a beautiful day. It's been very rainy today.
Yeah.
We have, but it's nice and cooled down. And I have a nice cocktail here.
Yeah.
I have a cocktail. I have a wine in a chalice, in a seahorse chalice.
Provided
we got here
by
by Elizabeth. Say hi, Elizabeth.
Hello.
I'm not going to give you a hard time. You can just say hi, and I'm not going to say anything filthy either because you're my friends and stuff like that. And then and Steve was saying, I said, "What's your mom saying?"
Barbara Schwartz.
Barbara, we're not going to do anything filthy and stuff like that. And I don't purposely talk about things filthy. I think maybe people bring it up.
Right.
It's just one of those things. My humor is more
Pretty clean.
cheesy.
Right.
I go with the cheesy stuff. But the nice thing about it, if the F note pops out or anything like that.
That's no big deal. She says that.
Mm-hmm. Where's Barbara live?
She's over on one street over from us.
Oh, she
the
lives
whole
here?
family's here.
Why don't you just bring her over?
I know. Well,
We
she
would've had
can
her
be on the
on.
next one. She
Yeah.
can be on the next one.
Oh, that'd be great. She's probably my age,
Look at
right?
the whole clan over here.
She's probably only a couple years older than me.
Yeah.
No.
A few years.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to, that'd be rude to say her age.
Oh no, I didn't say that. But
He's older than he
they're
looks.
younger friends. They're younger friends of mine, and I'm being nice too.
Not that
so.
much younger.
He's
Okay.
not that much younger.
Oh really? You look great. You look young. So I don't want to know. I don't need to know your age.
just
It's not gonna. It doesn't add anything
I just
to
turned
it.
49.
It doesn't. Wow. Okay. Yeah, you aren't that young.
No.
Holy crap! You
How
look
old are
good.
you? 50?
56 soon. 56. We look pretty damn good.
I think so.
I'm not
Yeah.
young.
Yeah, you look. I mean,
I'm 41.
she's 28, right? I thought she was in her late 20s. You're 40?
41.
41?
Yeah.
I love how the women are more confident about it because they take it. I always said this to people recently. I think I always said it. It's really down here. It's not the age; it's how people take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Because you can see there's some bad 20s down here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all about the lifestyle.
Yeah, the Key Largo.
Elizabeth is at the gym every single
Yeah,
day.
she's the cardio queen.
In fact, she works at the gym. So.
You work at she works at the Mac Gym
That's right.
in North Key Largo.
Yes. Mile marker 10.
Yeah,
Right.
just as soon as you come off the bridge in Key Largo, it's on the right-hand side, within a mile or so. But, see, you're warming up to the mic.
No.
there. But we became friends. It was after Irma, post
A
Irma.
while ago.
Was it right before Irma?
We
No,
moved here like 1 week before Irma hit.
Yeah.
And we had to immediately evacuate.
Okay, so we didn't meet till after Irma.
Right, probably was
You
just
bartended for
just
us, but we
after.
didn't really talk to you.
But we had come down on visits before and met you briefly.
Oh, great.
But we didn't get to know you until after Irma.
We were always
Yeah.
super drunk.
Hey, as I would be if
Speak
I
for
lived
yourself.
in the neighborhood. If I'm hanging out in the neighborhood, this is not. That's where people do their serious drinking when they're within
Right.
walking distance of their house.
Oh, yeah.
And the nice thing, there's slopping wine all over myself.
Who's drunk now?
I didn't have a drink. This is my first drink right now. It's my first drink.
Good
And
thing.
I'm slopping wine. Luckily, I eat a white wine. I go, white wine, good. Light pants. Yeah. I'm at a loss now. We were talking about meeting at the
After the
catch,
hurricane.
and your full-time gig is up on the mainland.
Yeah, I work out of Fort Lauderdale, but I've been granted home work rights, so that's really nice.
Okay.
That helps a lot. So
Do you want to talk? You want to mention what you do? just in
I
case?
do.
You don't have to.
No. I do compliance for a financial services firm. So
Okay, that's
But
a code word for me when I hear that. You're a spy.
yeah, something like that.
A compliance for a thing.
Like internal affairs.
Steve's
more interesting.
Steve's a secret agent, and Lizzie, you work in the service industry also, right? And the fitness industry.
Yes.
Yeah.
I work at your rival restaurant,
It's not a
unfortunately.
rival. I love it.
No, it's not a rival.
How frequently do you see me at my place of work after when I'm not working?
Never.
Never.
No.
Because when I'm done, I'm just done. I rarely, and there's places I would go. I definitely would go where my friends are working. But sometimes I'm 55 years old. I just don't. I'm going to go and I'll drink with friends. I like
Yeah.
hanging out with
Yeah.
them. It's weird. I do love doing the show and drinking at different restaurants and bars.
Yeah.
Doing it. But I got to control myself when I'm doing that because I don't want to be sloppy. And I've done the show a couple times, and I don't think you've seen it. At the Catch, you've seen it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Sean used to give me
Big
shots and
I
give me
remember
big
once.
bourbons and stuff like that. And I'd be sitting there slurring it. At the end. Hey, folks, if you haven't listened to the first episodes, the first 50 or 60 episodes, there was a couple times where we were really crocked.
Sloshed.
And
I remember that.
What I did call one of my co-hosts, I didn't say, I don't think I'm going to get in trouble with that. I always mention the story, but and we were clicking that night, and there was Dawn, and who was the girl she used to hang at? Dawn from Hobos. Dawn. Well, these two waitresses were on, and we're talking about where each other's from, and someone said, "Oh, you're from Philadelphia," and the girls are saying, and my co-host said, "I'm from Newtown." And I said, pedophiles. And I just said, he got up and walked away. He dropped the mic. He dropped the mic when I said it. I don't know why I'm a blurter.
Yeah.
I'm a blurter.
Could get you into trouble.
Yeah, it's got me in trouble before, but I mean, I don't do it around, I don't do it as much around my friends. I'm not saying he wasn't my friend.
Right.
I'm just saying with you guys, we just sit and talk and we listen to each other. So, the interesting about it, I've had the opportunity to have you on once before, but I wanted to concentrate on you for one whole episode and I think listeners be able to get the feel of Key Largo. We get to talk about the thing you do and love, and the person you do. I was going to say do and love. You do love. I'm sorry, Barbara. You do love. Can I get a little more?
Wine?
Yeah, wine. That wasn't
Freudian
intentional.
slip, right?
It wasn't. Oh well,
Something like that.
it could have been. So, you moved down here. You grew up down here then, obviously. If your family's down here.
No, we all are transplanted to Florida. I grew up, most of my life I spent in Texas, Arlington,
Texas, right out of Dallas.
Dallas, Fort Worth area.
That's the reason why you're the Dallas Cowboy
Yeah,
fan.
that's correct. Well, they're all coming
I
together.
completely. Oh
And
my
I went
God!
to
I got so much more respect for you.
Oh, aren't you an Eagles fan?
Yeah, but you got to be a fan of your home team.
That's right.
You'd be ridiculous. I'd
That's
call you if you became a fan of someone else's team. I'd say traitor.
No fair weather fans here.
Yeah, I know. You
way.
you stick with them.
Oh, all the yeah.
A best fan stick with 'em,
one
right?
in 13 season I lived.
Yeah,
here.
you know what? If you can, that's a true friend when you don't agree on the same.
True.
You don't have to have the same likes. You don't have to have the same
Right.
interest. Like actually, I started getting interested in NASCAR because you and
Oh,
Lizzie
yeah.
are big NASCAR fans. And I actually started watching it, and this guy old guy Joey comes in.
Joey K.
Joey
Yeah.
K. Town,
Right.
and you tell me, tell me
Little
about
updates.
on those things. And I really, in the beginning, I used to think NASCAR was
Boring.
no, not necessarily boring, not compelling,
Right.
not non-compelling.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found it's nuanced the way
It is.
the way
Really, people
to drive.
don't realize it.
There's
and
the way
lot more to it.
Yeah, they approach the
Than you-
attacking to get the lead or gaining points and things like that.
Exactly.
Or when you have to pit
Right.
and things like that.
Strategies.
I didn't know. I just thought it was all left turns.
Right. That's what most people do think.
Yeah, it was a joke. Yeah, you got to make a left turn here, and then I hear, and then you see they got taking the steering wheel. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
they put the steering wheel in,
Yeah.
which they do. You ever see those freaking nerds that take the steering wheel out of their car? That used to be like in Philadelphia. They used to do. You never seen that?
What, so that it won't get stolen?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they take their steering wheel.
I've never seen that.
That's a little extreme.
I've never seen
I mean, but I can see if you're in Philly, someone get a pipe wrench and just put it on to drive the car. They would drive the car with a pipe wrench.
I do
No
still
problem.
sometimes use the club.
Oh my god, it's so annoying.
The club to drive with?
No, the club. The
Okay, I said,
the
you're
security device. That
Yeah, I
goes
know you're
across
talking
your
about it.
steering wheel.
We live in the quietest neighborhood in Key Largo, and he puts the
You
club
use
on
it?
She gets so mad.
Use the
I put
club in
on.
here?
She gets so mad when I use the
Who's
club.
gonna steal a car from his
Well, you know what?
neighborhood?
The
Our 80-year-old
theory
neighbor?
behind that is you use it all the time. So when you go places where it's not safe, that you use it all the time. And if you use it here, you're definitely going to use it up there.
Right.
See,
It's a habit.
this is my rational. This is where I can I could think from other. My superpower, since we're going to be talking about
You-
comic books eventually, would be empathy.
Right. I'm picking up on that. You can associate with other people.
Yeah. So I can see, like,
Empathize.
yeah, but that makes
Empathize.
sense. And whatever you do makes sense too.
What?
Yeah. The stuff. I mean, I can see sometimes
do
there's
some
people I
weird
don't.
stuff.
What?
I do some weird things. Like
Really?
he's like,
Wait, put up the mic up to your mouth. You're going to say something.
I just said I do
Name
some
one weird thing that you can't don't get in trouble with your mother-in-law with.
Okay, so I can't swallow pills, so I crush everything up in a little pill crusher because I'm convinced that I can't swallow pills.
Oh, I've heard of that. I've heard of that.
Like even the smallest of pills.
Really?
So my mom-
Like the
Like a
little
vitamin.
the ones that like the priest had to take an exorcist. The one that the nitroglycerin pills to stop a heart. Not that you need it, but that's a tiny pill, something like that.
Maybe that, but
There's a tiny it looks like a tiny dot.
I almost died trying to take a leave the other day.
Really? Yeah. When you start choking.
Yeah, but, like I know it's in my head, I just can't do it. So I have a pill crusher and I just
Grind them up.
yeah.
Wow.
vitamins,
See, you're
forget it.
friends. We're friends, and I'm not going to delve in deeper because there's a lot of things I could have.
Or I dissolve it in water.
Or she'll stab it
Is
with a
that? Do
knife.
you check to see if that's a good way to ingest? Because some of them are time release.
Yes, I learned the hard way. You can't take Midol that way. So I just suffer.
Yeah, some of them are time release. You
Before
don't
we
want to.
got an actual pill grinder, she used to stab it with a knife.
Yes.
She would put it in a glass and stab the pill with a knife.
At least you didn't go for a more extreme one and say, "Well, what I do is I grind it up and I put it in liquid and then I shoot it directly into my
That
body."
works.
You tie off, you get the works with the
Yeah.
rubber hose, and then you pop it in your arm.
It's really dumb.
I'm sorry. I know some. Most of our listeners that are heroin addicts are usually nodding off at this time anyway. They start getting their hit and they come up. So this is if you're for the pot smokers and you mushroom dosers and psychedelics. I think now would be a good time for you to start doing it because we're going to get into comics shortly. How far are we into it? We didn't even get into the comics. We got 13 minutes, but we still didn't learn. Maybe we're going to have to make this 2 parts for you and stuff like that. So
two-parter.
yeah, but we'll still have to delve into the comics part.
Right.
So how long have you guys been together?
8.5 years, 9 years, almost 9 years.
It'll be 9 years on May 28th. Actually, to be
It was
exact.
close.
Oh yeah, Abby and I met in May.
You did?
Or started out in May 12 years ago.
Yeah,
So
it's a long time.
yeah, so and Sky was just a baby then. Yeah, so when was it? No, it wasn't 12 years ago. Oh my God, I got there in 12 years. It was 10 years ago.
Oh wow.
10 years ago. Big slip up. Well, saying it too.
Did you meet her down here?
Yeah, met her down here. You know, everyone's heard the story though. It's not about me, and they've heard the story. Well, her sister looks a lot like her.
Okay.
Her older sister, and a lot of people confuse them for each other. And when I first started talking about Abby from the gym, and I figured she smoked over. She smoked. God, I didn't smoke. What I'm saying, she worked over the sandal factory because I saw her over there,
Oh.
and I kept on running into her at the gym. So I'm talking to my sushi guy when I was at the Encore when that was still open, and he said, "Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about, and you know they're twins." And I go, "Guys, pulling my leg because I'm full of shit." So this guy, he's from our neck. He's from Virginia Beach, but he's from North Jersey originally.
Right.
And the bullshit, right? I almost run her over too, and it turns out that's her sister working over there.
Oh.
And I almost asked her at her sister
Oh, you are.
instead of her. I thought they were the same person.
Ooh.
Oh no.
But I
That's funny.
asked Abby. Well, I didn't really ask her out first. I was living here, not here, at the house next to you. Oh God, it's so confusing right here.
I'm
Right
oh, that's
You
right.
used to live on Madrid, right?
next door.
Yeah.
I was in the house next door, and I was telling my buddy.
think so.
I lived in the house right next to Steve and Lizzie. I was pulling up in my convertible. I was telling my buddy from Philadelphia who lives down here too about this girl. He says I'm full of shit that I'm meeting all these girls because he met 3 of them, and he says no, that's pulling my leg now. You met someone at the gym now. You go, yeah, you're. I know you said you don't meet any women down here, but I met. And he goes, oh, okay. And they said, what's under the windshield wiper? And I look on the windshield, and there's a little note. I still have it in my wallet. It's a Liz Claiborne sample cardboard
Like a
thing
perfume?
that covers the little perfume
Yeah.
thing. And she wrote her name, Abby. Call me.
Oh, wow.
Right, but it
Very
had fell.
forward.
I had a Sebring convertible, and the windshield wiper went under the hood. And I didn't
You
see it
couldn't
for
get it
4 days.
Oh!
No, I didn't see it for 4 days, and she thought she
you
wasn't
were
going to go to
blowing
the
her
gym. Yeah, blowing her off. And I pulled it out, and I called her right as soon as I left a message for her after we got out of the car. My buddy and I were having coffee at the house, and I gave her a call and said, I just got the note, and I apologize.
Just found
That's
it.
great.
Just found a note. I
Steve
just
didn't
found a
call
note.
me for 5 days.
That's not true. It wasn't
Yes,
far.
and then he-
Yeah, and if I had ended up asking her out though, it would be game over. So where were you guys? How were you guys meeting? You at the gym?
I went into her, place of business
Okay, don't
to
say.
have some lunch, and a couple times, and we just got to
Ignored
talking,
me.
and I did not ignore
He ignored
you.
me like 5 times.
Because
Where
I
were
did-
you up
because I
in-
didn't fall all over
in
you
Florida
like
Beach
most
at,
guys
Yeah.
do.
at a beach bar, and he came in a few times, and I was like, wow,
Were you a bartender?
yeah.
Yeah.
And he kept coming in and eating wings and leaving, coming in, and then finally he came in one day and he said, "Do you want to go have a beer sometime?" And I
Did you
said,
know her
"Okay."
name at that point?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
So I
Maybe.
gave him my business card, and then he waited like 4 days to call me.
Well,
Was that a
is that
tactic?
too long? I
No,
thought it was
I
30
heard the
days.
theory. You ever watch the movie Swingers?
Yeah.
Where they they were talking about what do you do with it? You don't call right after you get the number. But I called right after the number, but I didn't find it.
Right.
But
For
she didn't
4
know
days.
that.
So
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
She didn't. She said
Did
she
you
thought.
lose my card too? Was it stuck under your hood?
No, but there's a lunch. There's a 4 day. There is a. I think right now the day
There's a
you should
waiting
get
period.
24 hours.
Yeah. 2
So
days.
24 hours. But if there's a real vital chemistry in the beginning, there's no reason not to call right away.
Right.
Well, I did get 2 consecutive dates, a first date and a second date back to back, so that made up for it.
Yeah.
I got a consecutive 2 first dates out of it, so I'll take that.
Where was the first date? You took her out for a beer, she said.
Oh, this place called Lulu's Bait Shack.
Lulu's Bait Shack?
Another
Yeah.
beach bar.
It's a beach bar.
In
it was
in
the
Lauderdale?
Same, yeah, it was in the same plaza where
Yeah.
I worked, so I figured I didn't want to get in a car with a strange person.
Right.
I would
It was
just walk.
in a plaza, you mean?
Yeah, it's like an entertainment complex on the beach.
On the beach? Oh, that's
There's like
nice.
a bunch of different places.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so the second one, the second one you
The
went.
second one,
Would you get in the car
classed
then?
it up a little bit, right?
We
On the
what?
side. Did we class it up a little bit?
no,
on
we
the
went
left?
to
Oh.
Spazio's.
That's no good.
There was a big festival going on the beach that weekend, so he came into the other bar that I worked at and said, "Let's walk to the festival." So we walked on the festival,
Yeah.
and he sat at my bar for 2 hours.
Oh, that's nice.
I was like, "Oh, must have been a good first date."
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
Who wouldn't? Who would want to sit?
that's right.
Elizabeth.
She's a beautiful girl.
Yeah.
So then, were you riding the car after the second date?
Yeah, because I needed to ride home. So I did get in the car. at the second
Okay,
date.
that's good. That's trust.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I trusted him after the first date. I just wanted to make sure he wasn't crazy.
Really?
Yeah. And I
Jury's,
for-
jury's still out.
And I forgot what he looked like on the first date, so I was walking around the restaurant looking for him, and I was like, crap, I didn't really see his face. And I walked up behind him,
man.
and I tapped him on the shoulder, and he turned around, and I was like, thank God, he's good looking.
That
'Cause I
was the
forgot.
first date.
Yeah, that was the first
Yeah,
date.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because I forgot what he looked like, because he wasn't paying attention to me.
But you accepted the going out. You
Yes.
didn't remember what he looked like.
I mean, I remember, but like I couldn't totally remember like what his face looked like. But I remember what his body looked like. So I found the tattoos and everything, and then I tapped him on the shoulder, and he
Yeah.
turned around, and I was like, okay, good.
Okay.
Acceptable.
Oh, that's
Acceptable.
great.
It's dark. You know, these bars are dark.
And then when did you guys How long did you date before you?
Moved it together 2
Yeah.
years.
2 years.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because I had a crappy condo that I had to get rid of.
Uh huh.
We had to do a short sale.
He took me in.
Was it? Oh, say, see, I met Abby down here, so she was established down here and staying down here, and I wasn't. I was down here for a couple of years, so that was no big chore. What happened to get you down here? I mean, you said you grew up in Arlington, and did your family follow you here?
No, not exactly. They were here before me.
Yeah.
When I was in college in Austin, Texas. My mom and dad moved to Florida, Southwest Florida. Well, no, I'm sorry. They moved to Miami with my dad's work, and he was going to, work a few more years down here, and then they were going to retire in Florida. So that's basically what happened. He worked a few more years in Miami, and then they retired in Naples, Florida. And then
We talked about moving to Key West.
yeah, we were talking. Liz and I were talking about moving to the Keys, and my mom and dad were talking about
Moving to
moving to Fort
Lauderdale.
Lauderdale to be closer to us. And I'm like, why don't you look in the Keys, because we're thinking about going to the Keys. So they actually beat us to the Keys.
Yeah.
So they moved to Key Largo first, and we started kind of coming down, visiting them frequently, and we're like, we love Key Largo. Let's just move to Key Largo.
Like every weekend off, I would
Get
be
that a
like,
little
let's go.
closer to yourself. Right
This,
there. Yeah.
yeah. So
Every
I
weekend
turned
off,
it up,
I would
so-
want to come here to the Catch and to
Right.
Skippers and
So
wherever.
we fell in love with Key Largo and just decided to move here, and they were already here. So
What do you like about Key Largo?
what did they like?
What did you like?
Oh, we love the Catch, and we love you, Jim.
The food.
Hardly
the,
think that would be the reason for you to move
huge
down. But
portions of fish.
no, I'm not. So, okay, no, I mean, what was the what was the primary reason to move down here? Like,
Well,
what you like
Quiet.
quiet.
We just like.
And we like the general speed of everything. It's,
yeah.
I mean,
everything's slowed down
it's like you're in a small town with the traffic of a big city.
yeah, kind of.
You know.
But
And
we
I worked
just,
at the same bar for 18 years, and I hated my job, and I was ready to quit.
yeah, we were just kind of
18 years?
we were getting fed up with Fort Lauderdale.
You worked at a bar for 18 years.
The same bar
Yeah.
Wow.
for 18 years, and
Cool.
I hated it because it was on the beach. All the drunk beach people coming in. It was
Yeah.
It was a really hard job. It was hot, no AC, outside.
You know, it does having a mix, and you probably doing the workout thing up there too because you're in Lauderdale.
Oh yeah.
Were you a Planet Fitness person, or were you?
No, there was like a little tiny gym on the beach I actually went to. It was weird. It was
Yeah?
just a little beach gym. So yeah, actually in that same plaza.
Yeah.
In that same plaza, there's everything in there.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, it was 18 years of working there. It was like,
It pays to be a decent guy and showing up where a bunch of you're on a beach and a bunch of weirdos come in and stuff,
Right. You
and
look
could be
better
that
in
steadfast.
comparison.
You're
Right.
yes.
you're a rock at Gibraltar coming in.
I
Say, oh,
guess
this
so.
guy's
guess
steady.
so. Yeah.
So
He looks good.
okay, so and then we met, we became friends, blah blah blah, and we can delve into other things later on. Now we're going to get into the media stuff. When did you find out? How long have you been in the comics?
Oh, since I was a little kid.
I mean, I would.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
What was the first thing?
I've collected off and on for my whole life.
When you
but-
what first got you into comics? Like, what was there a character in specific? I know what mine was.
Yeah, well, yeah, there was a few.
Who was it?
Spider-Man, Conan
Marvel.
the Barbarian, the Hulk.
Yeah.
Those were my favorites
Isn't that Arnold Schwarzenegger?
as a little kid.
Conan.
Yes,
Arnold
he was.
Schwarzenegger.
He was.
Also.
So, yeah, I think when I was really little,
Speaking of Arnold Schwarzenegger's really little.
yeah, he is really little.
People don't realize that.
What?
My ex-wife
Short?
saw him on Good Morning America, on the set of Good Morning America, because her cousin was on there, and she was standing there, she was around 5'10", 5'11", and she swore that he was 5 inches shorter than her.
No.
He's really
I'm
short.
Googling
I'm telling you, they got these things that are going to come up. People say 5'7", 5'8". He's not. It's like his height is indeterminate.
Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
He's like 6'2".
No, he's not. No, he's not.
I mean, he must
he's
have
well
shown.
on. Nope.
Are you
He's
thinking
well
of
under.
Stallone?
Nope.
He's
nope.
short. I know he's
Stallone.
short.
No. Schwarzenegger's short.
Okay, I'll have to look.
She
that
said she was short. She said she looked down on Arnold
Really?
Schwarzenegger. Yes.
up. Wow, that's crazy.
And she's five. She was 5'10", 5'11". I mean, she wasn't even 5'11". She was 5'10".
I'm gonna Google it.
And she said so. He had to be like 5'8", something like that. I think they're probably heighting him and saying 5'9".
We're gonna find
But you
out
check.
right now.
You can tell by looking at their feet when you look at them. You always see people like I saw the Chinese prime minister standing next to Trump. And Trump's around 6'2", I think.
Right.
It's a couple of, and I'm looking at the guy, and I said, "What a Chinese prime minister is like? He looks like he's 6 foot, but his shoulders look like the size of a guy that's like 5'8". Right. So I think, oh, lifts. It's got to be fucking lifts.
Oh.
I'm like, yeah, because I'm looking, the bodies move. Like, his hips are really high compared to that, you know? And no, I always get that.
It says 6'2" here.
Bullshit. He's not 6'2".
It says 6'2".
What is Arnold Schwarzenegger's real height?
Real height.
He's not 6'2". Well, you know why?
was a
Carl
Mr.
Weathers. Remember Predator?
You know.
When he was in with Carl Weathers?
Yeah.
You see how big Carl Weathers was?
I don't know.
Carl Weathers is 5'10".
Really?
Is 5'10".
Okay.
And Schwarzenegger wasn't bigger than that. And so Sylvester
Why would
Stallone was
they
one.
lie?
But he was a Mr. Universe, a Mr. Olympia.
That doesn't mean
Arnold
it. Franco Columbo was one too.
Yeah.
Franco Columbo was 5'6",
Right.
5'5", small
he
guy,
was short.
and he won one in the strongboy. I remember this guy named Franco Columbo. They had a contest where they took a hot water bottle.
Oh, yeah, and he blew it up. He inflated it.
Yeah, they inflated it.
Right.
Oh, it's incredible.
Why is
They
that
did it.
bad?
It's hard to do. He blew up. I mean, it's on television. I'm not saying
I
if it
can
wasn't
do it.
fixed or anything like that. And they carry refrigerators on their back.
Balloon.
The older refrigerators, 1980s refrigerators, and they're carrying them on their back running
Right.
the room. The first strongman competitions, not the ones where they have the 250-pound bowl.
I could do that.
You can do that?
Yeah.
She's strong.
I can't. Oh, you know what? It turned out I smoked for years and years, and I was a wicked smoker.
Pot?
No, cigarette.
Oh.
Pot. It's still federal. It's Schedule what? Schedule what? 1? What do they call that? The illegal one. It's a number. It was right on the top. It's a shame but then how much pot can you smoke? I'm not a total pothead. So
I don't like it.
Me neither.
I ate a whole red velvet cake the night before. our
I
first
love
date.
it. I love it. I love pot.
Do you?
Yeah, you know what? I need it.
I hate it.
You know what? For a high-strung person, it's perfect.
True.
It is perfect for me. You're mellow, dude. Why would you want it?
I don't think I need it.
No, you're mellow. So
Yeah.
why would you want it? For someone that look at me, I'm a chihuahua in a big guy's body, and it doesn't bode well for me in the
Yeah.
future if I don't get to calm down.
I did it a few times in college and
Makes
it
me
didn't
eat
do
too
anything
much.
to me, so I don't know. I
Didn't do it?
don't get it.
Because you had that fortitude. Didn't get you.
It
They
didn't do
wasn't
anything
strong
to me,
enough.
So I'm like, why bother with that?
Yeah.
I
It
just makes me eat everything.
Yeah, you don't want to. You
Prefer to
don't
have
want to
a
hit it.
beer.
You don't want to hit it anymore because it's got crazy strong since then.
And
I did one when I was
Oh, yeah, I bet.
before I was in high school. My sister, we were supposed to go to church, and we went to the rec center, and in the city of Philadelphia. It wasn't like West Side Story. We were in almost like the edge of the city was almost suburbs, but it was still row homes. But we were smoking a little weed, and I don't know what was in it because all of a sudden blotches of red started showing up on from me, and it was all red, and all of a sudden I slid down. Well, they didn't mix acid in. They usually it was angel dust.
Oh.
That's what they used to put in there. I don't know because I never took it. I was a pot guy. I never did anything else. I dabbled in coke, for for like a couple months.
Yeah.
It didn't do anything for me because you go up and you crash, but
Right.
there's people that love that
Oh.
stuff. I mean, hey, I'm not a hypocrite. I haven't dabbled in the psychedelics, any of the acids that I know about. I
Let's
did
just
take
take
some
mushrooms.
ecstasy. I did.
Once.
Oh, you mushrooms?
I've never have.
Right.
I did once in college.
No.
I will never do that again.
Okay. Ecstasy, that was great. The Mitsubishis, they used to call them Mitsubishis. They were good. And it wasn't like it wasn't anything really freaky about it.
Why did they call it Mitsubishi?
They're named after
That was
cars.
the name
Oh,
on it.
okay.
What?
They're
Yeah.
usually named
Didn't
after
know that.
cars.
Yeah.
Mitsubishis, BMWs.
Yeah.
Look at you with the knowledge.
Well, she worked in a bar.
I'm a 90s child.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and I worked on Los
I dated a girl that was younger than me. She would have been. She was about 12 years younger than me.
Not my
What?
age.
Yeah. No. Well,
No.
yeah. And all her friends were a couple years younger than her, and they used to called her Baby Spice or no, Scary Spice, and they called me Old Spice. Old Spice, yeah. So no, back to the comics and stuff like that. You got into Marvel comics and stuff. I was
Yeah.
a DC guy,
Okay. Yep.
And
Well, now
I loved it as a kid, and I could see as an adult. I go back and I love the storylines because it's always people.
Now the movies have brought them kind of mainstream.
Well, it started with. Wouldn't you say they didn't start like with Superman in 1977?
Yeah, that was the first big movie. Sure.
Yeah,
but now, yeah.
And then they had some couple crappy ones that followed up after that, and then you had the Batman.
Batman's, and then the early Spider-Man films, and then and then Marvel really got
overdrive.
really good.
And then Nolan came out with Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight ones were great. And then all this the record-setting, the biggest earning movie of all time.
Endgame. Right. Biggest opening ever. Right.
Well, I think total revenue has already surpassed Titanic.
Has it really? Oh,
it was
wow.
so good. If you haven't seen it, go see it right now.
Well, it passed Titanic. It's already enshrined. So,
yeah.
And it's so early that it passed that
Yeah.
it could double Titanic.
It was so good.
Because it passed
really
$1 billion the first weekend or
Have you
something
seen
like
it
that.
yet?
No.
Yeah.
All right, and I'll see it. I don't worry about spoilers.
Right.
That stuff. You're a Game of Thrones person.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We'll talk about that. Let's talk about that towards the end. And we still so. Tell me about the progression. You're collecting comic books. You like Hulk. You like
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's become more of a business for me. I buy them to resell them and make money. And basically, the way you do that is you kind of like make predictions, just like you would like buying stock or buying you do that based off of the movies and the television shows, and you buy. I
noticed the ones you have though. There are a lot of classic ones that.
Well, okay, so there are some that I probably would not sell that I collect more for myself. Like I like horror magazines and things like that.
Yeah, what's a Creep Show? Was one of them?
And Eerie and Vampirella. Those are my favorites. That's kind of like my personal collection that I probably, somebody came to me with the right price, I would sell them. But that's kind of more of my my personal stash, if you will. But my primary, I'm looking for like first appearances of big characters that are going to appear in the movies and the television shows that are coming up. That way you buy them now before people know about them, before they become household names, and then, you sell them, for much more than you bought them for.
I had comic books, my father's old comic books from the 50s, from the mid-50s. My grandmother gave them away. Oh. But there were some characters I've never even heard of before. They never really made it.
Golden Age comics.
Yeah. And there was the... There was I don't know if it was Marvel or DC, but there were all these. At one point, when they had men made of metal, it was Goldman and this and that.
Metal Men, sure. Yeah.
Metal Men, and Goldman could just stretch himself out to a fine filament, go like a million miles to send a signal, and I go, what a kind of weird superpower, that you're gonna. But not any stranger than the Wonder Twins.
Right.
Remember, did you ever think, did you ever see a superpower you thought that was kind of lame?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of them.
What?
Yeah, there's a lot of ridiculous ones. I mean, Hawkman, I mean, he's just got a big hawk helmet on and wings strapped on. You could be the Rocketeer. The Rocketeer can do.
Rocketeer,
I mean, there's some are way better than others. Some have better stories than others.
What do you think of Watchmen? Because the Watchmen aren't really super powered, except for Dr. Manhattan, right?
Yeah,
they're doing a series on HBO, and
that's right.
And they're just regular people.
Yeah, those are great comics.
I thought they were great storyline.
Alan Moore was the author of that comic book line. He's a legend.
Is he the one that kind of where they got the movies that the movies that came out that the Grindhouse movies and stuff like that? What was that? The
sounds familiar.
Tarantino may have done a couple of them, stuff like that. They did the one with Bruce Willis, who was the old detective, and stuff like that.
Pulp Fiction.
No, not that one. Not Pulp Fiction. This was a comic book kind of thing. I forget the name of it.
Man,
Bruce Willis, Mickey O'Rourke was in it.
Oh, yeah, Sin City.
Sin City.
Okay.
That's more. That's not more. That's what Ford, Alan. What?
Robert Rodriguez. No, Sin City was Alan. The author.
Arthur was
Robert Rodriguez.
Ford.
That might have been an Alan Moore.
Alan Moore, something like that.
Sin City
I remember that. Yeah.
Alan
so it was that.
Yeah. Okay. It might
when I said Grindhouse, because It's one of these things real gritty and pulpy.
Yeah.
Meaning, when they say pulpy, not like the
like
Pulp
a fruit.
Fiction ones. No, pulpy like the fruit, because these people, they were showing it that they just, one guy's punching another guy's out, they're crushing his head.
Yeah, right.
It used to be in the comic books when
graphic.
someone died, they'd just be laying, they weren't pulverized into a
Right.
grease stain on the side, right?
Right.
Right? Just a puddle of blood.
Right.
And like Superman, you always think when Superman would punch somebody, or the Hulk, if they punched a regular guy, it's just
Right.
the head would be just a smoking husk, right? Yeah, go
So
like this, and go like,
basically-
well, I always thought when Superman was dating Lois Lane. Okay, I'm going to couch my comments to say,
Yeah.
when he had physical relations with her, he's a man of steel.
Right. What happens then?
What happens if he gets over enthusiastic?
Yeah, that's
when
kinda
he's
good.
about to have, he's supposedly getting same enjoyment.
Yeah.
You come on, it's
She's in
almost like a
trouble.
hiccup. Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for sure. Obviously, you have to suspend reality for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, I always thought, hey, that's why he would be sleeping with his cousin, Supergirl. Supergirl. They made her Supergirl. You notice that? They make her Superwoman.
Right.
She never was Superwoman, because then you'd have to equate her an equal
Right.
standing on it. And then the
this was long
flying,
before,
how
yeah.
flying? Why would you be able to fly? Why necessarily would you be able to fly without any supernatural power? Like Thor, they give him a hammer and
Like,
something.
what's the physics behind it? How would they just actually?
Yeah,
be
and
able
then
to
how do you
lift-
fly harder?
lift off the
How do you
ground?
fly? Yeah, you're not
Right.
really doing anything to do it.
Right.
You're
Well,
creating
what is
momentum
the
with thought.
force that is allowing them to do this?
Is
Yeah,
it
right.
thought or anything like that? You can see. Okay, yeah, it makes sense that
Right.
your cells can be super dense.
Right,
Yeah, you can have come from a place where maybe a white star would
Right.
make you denser than anything else, and then all of a sudden you can probably lift,
Right.
100,000 times your weight. Yeah,
Well,
maybe.
I mean that's
'Cause they-
technically he's an alien and came from another planet and is. Yeah.
Well, you have to come from
Phys-
another universe, actually, because inside this universe, you wouldn't be able to do all those things. Because there's the laws of physics
Yeah.
that do that. So you have to come from one
Right. A different
that has
laws.
different, yes. Is that our drinking sign when we say different laws? Whenever we say laws.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm
And,
down. I'm
and
ready for another beer.
what's, oh, is that?
Can you grab me another beer? Is that,
Oh, look at that. And you don't have anything to say about that?
well, you're not contributing. You may as well get.
Oh, she is
anything about
contributing.
it.
She gives us stories and stuff like
I don't know
that.
anything
Oh,
about
you, come on. You like comics, don't you? Don't you have a favorite character? No?
She likes the movies.
She is a
She likes the movies.
hero. So, so how long have you been doing this?
Well, I mean, as a like an investor
Yeah.
and a speculator, if you will, I've probably 15 to 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, actually, like making money on it, as a business, probably 15 years.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Look at this. That's his fabulous service.
Ooh,
It's
wine
incredible.
coming for Jim.
Oh
Wow.
man.
Look at that.
Cupcake Vineyards.
Oh, it's
Cupcake
fine.
Vineyards.
Fine wine.
Thank you. Thanks.
So right now, I don't want to give away down here. How many? Because we're in a hurricane, so that's one of the things you'd have to take with you, right?
Well, I think about that a lot. Supposedly, we kind of lucked out with this house. It's the highest elevation in Key Largo. And during Irma, we did not have
What do
any.
you have, 14 feet?
We had no, I think, I don't know how many feet we're
I
at.
think 14.
14 feet.
Because we're at 12. That
Yeah,
makes sense. Yeah.
14.
We're at 14 feet here, and we had no flooding during Irma. Nothing.
Nothing.
No. At 14 feet, it didn't happen at 12. It didn't happen until like.
And
at
what
6.
was that, a Category 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much a direct hit by Category
Yeah.
4. So, you know what, I would probably take, my most expensive
You
ones.
put it in the top. You put everything in the top of that.
They're elevated. I can show you, but most of them are elevated off the ground, and I would probably take my most expensive ones with me. Anything
Because we're in
you
an
know.
audio
And a
format,
dog.
I think it's best for just to tell me. I can say, actually, you can say, I have a suspended 200 feet.
But I mean, we
right
took
now.
a direct shot from a Category 4, and nothing, we weren't flooded at all. So I think I'm pretty safe here. Knock on wood, So I wouldn't try to pack up the whole collection. and
That's
take it
good.
with me.
Hey, you know what? I think that's a wise decision that you don't do that because I don't want to be morbid, but you know about that plane crash 2 weeks ago, and the Russian plane that was landing on fire.
Right.
You know what some of those people were doing when they were getting off the plane while it's on fire?
What?
Grabbing their luggage.
Really?
And some people died. They speculate that some people died because they slowed the exit
Oh, that
of
would be
people
me.
from the back.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they were saying
That's
they saw
insane.
people with luggage.
Jeez.
So that means if you had luggage, that means you had to grab it.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to, if you're evacuating a plane, not supposed
Worry
to.
about your luggage.
No.
Right.
Oh,
No.
I would.
Unless you're,
You would.
Oh, I.
the plane, no, you don't understand. That half of the plane was on fire. It was landing on fire from the wings back. The last thing in your head is that what am I going to wear?
All my expensive clothes from Diver's Drag.
Oh.
Fuck that. Sorry. Oops.
Well, would you have been in front of the plane or back of the plane?
I like to be in the front.
Oh, okay,
Front of
then
the
you
plane.
probably would have
Yeah.
survived then
Yeah.
and killed a bunch of people by blocking the luggage.
All right. I'll leave
Okay,
it.
no, that's all right. So what? So you're a Marvel man. It sounds like because you didn't mention too much.
Primarily, but at this point, I buy whatever I think I can make money on. Marvel, DC, there's other. I just sold one as we are sitting here. I just sold the comic that they announced a new series on Netflix is coming called The Magic Order. Mm-hmm. I bought it for $4 a couple years ago, and I just sold it for $25.
Hey, do you have any of the Harvey P-Car ones?
Harvey Picar. No,
Yeah, American Splendor.
Oh, okay, I've heard of that. No, I don't.
This guy, he was famous for making a comic book about his life. It was the Everyman Schmuck in like Cleveland, Ohio, or something like that. He was a government worker, and he made a comic book. And the guy who created Fritz the Cat
Right.
was his mentor.
Okay.
He was a famous cartoonist.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I think you're riding the wave of the future because comic books are way back. They started coming back, I think.
Well, I think what's going on right now is you've got all these competing services like Hulu and Amazon Prime and Netflix, and they're all they need content, and comic books are just a endless source of content. So you see like a Netflix just signed a deal with Dark Horse Comics a couple days ago to have like what they call a first look option at all of their new comic books coming out. So basically they can say, we want that one for a movie, we want that one for a show. So that's all these,
It seems like a lot of the shows that come out, or even if they weren't a comic book before, could have been formatted like that
Right.
show, the Seth Rogen show on AMC called The Preacher.
That was a comic.
That was a comic?
That was a comic.
Okay, it was just, I look at it and said, that seems like,
Preacher
even if I didn't know it was a
that's
comic, that was a comic.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. AMC is another good one. Like, all these channels and streaming services, they're buying up all the
The
content.
Watchmen on HBO.
You
On
The
HBO.
Watchmen.
And
Umbrella Academy. Have you seen that one on Netflix? It's really good. That was a comic. That's
Umbrella
That's
Academy.
a recent hit on Netflix right now. So they need content because they're competing, and they're going to the comics for all this content.
and its comics are kind of like a rough draft, aren't they?
Yeah,
You look at it, and they show placement, give ideas.
Right.
It's actually a storyboard.
totally.
It's a great storyboard,
Right.
and then you just bring writers in and says, "Listen, can you fill in the spaces in between this?"
Right.
I totally see a Dark Knight movie, even though the Christopher Nolan one, man, I'll tell you that
Right.
one.
Well, that's a classic.
Which one were you particularly a fan of? The one with Bane?
I think the first.
The first one?
Yeah, the first Dark Knight movie.
That was,
I think that was with Scarecrow was the villain.
and the guy Azul, what's his name?
Yes,
the guy
Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul.
His trainer,
Yeah.
his mentor, if you will. I thought that was probably the best one.
You thought, okay.
Yeah.
So you have things like, oh, look at that. She has
Ooh,
her
frosty glass.
frosty glass.
How come we don't?
For my grapefruit shandy.
Shandy.
For all of those of you who haven't had the Leinenkugel's grapefruit shandy, just the
It's
best
a winner.
beverage on the planet.
Oh, hey, next time, if we, I sent my contracts in, we'll probably be getting.
Oh yeah.
No, that's good.
Get a
I mean, we
sponsor.
don't have it right now, but in the future, we're gonna have a sponsor. We could talk about the wines we're drinking. I'm gonna ask him to send it to us.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
Beautiful.
and I'll bring it over.
bump them up on the air. And,
Come on.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Who doesn't
We
want
could
to
do-
drink that?
Oh, it's delicious.
Okay. Oh, geez, we're gonna have to call him up. We're gonna have to call him up and say, "Hey, listen, I really like your stuff." So, I think we may. I don't know if we're done about that, but the Game of Thrones take.
Oh,
I mentioned it. The other guys I talked to are not big fans of Game of Thrones.
yeah.
It's winding up.
Yeah.
You're a comic book guy.
Yeah.
They're tying up all the storylines.
Right. Very
I read
rapidly.
a bunch of ideas, and one is suggesting that Bran is the bad guy,
Okay.
and he what's that thing he does? Wargs
He wargs
into
different animals and
the dragoon.
dragons. Yeah.
He
right.
warged in the dragoon, and he's the one that did all that.
I don't
That's a guy speculated at.
Yeah, I don't
because they're saying because of some of the visions he had came from that. And that they didn't show Danny's face after she was going towards the Red Keep. Her eyes were on the Red Keep.
Right. That's true.
So her eyes were on the Red Keep, and she would have went right after Cersei
Right.
instead of going after all those people.
But
and
then
it was
on
an
the
after
way to
her.
the Red Keep,
She just
Drogon started.
all over the
torching
place.
everybody.
Yeah, and she
Right.
started going all Mad Queen on that.
She did go.
So,
Queen on them. Yeah.
and I'm sorry if it's a spoiler alert for people like. But
Uh,
you know what?
it-
You should be on fucking top of it if you're gonna be. If you're gonna,
Yeah.
I don't care. It's still a good show.
It's been almost a week. Yeah, you're good.
People said they gave it a rating under 50% and stuff like that, and I said, you know what? How many seasons of entertainment have they provided?
Yeah.
And people shit
at
all over.
at a very high level.
Yeah, and all the time, and they shit on it. I mean, I remember some scenes. I remember one of my characters I really liked. I only saw him for like 2 minutes. Was the Morning Star, the
Yeah,
swordsman that was
yes.
protecting the Targaryen guy that kidnapped,
Lyanna, and the battle at the
at-
she
where she
lost-
was holed up and
Yes,
being
right.
pregnant,
Mhm.
and that guy got up.
Oh, he
and
got with the two swords. At
yeah,
the same
yeah,
time?
he seemed
that
like
was
such a
awesome.
badass.
Mhm.
The way they were sitting there and just waiting.
Right.
That was one of the
That was a
best
great
scenes.
scene.
That was the best scene, along with the fight between the Mountain and the Viper.
Oh yeah.
Who I love the Viper. I
Yeah,
love
he
the
was great.
Viper.
You thought he won.
Holy crap! I
He
did.
thought he-
I did right at the end.
And then he,
Right at the end, he said, "God, you got to take that spear and put it right to his head."
right. You can't.
Right
let
at the
him-
time.
Yeah.
You can't gloat.
Right.
Right at the end, you do what every other swordsman does, or whatever spearman. You
Yeah.
you take it, put it to his head, and you can see it didn't work the last time when Clegane,
Oh.
Sandor stuck that sword to the Mountain's head,
Yeah.
and he didn't die.
At
He had
that
to take him
point,
out.
he's like undead. So
Yeah, it was-
the mountain. I don't think you could hurt him.
He wasn't
that
even
way.
like he was even less. He was more undead than the Walkers.
Yeah. Right.
Because
He
if
was
you
like
did that to
he
a
was
Walker's
basically-
head,
he
I
was
think.
basically a Frankenstein's monster. Is
Yeah.
what he was. He's, the Qyburn brought him back to life as basically a big Frankenstein. So
It's funny with Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster because people say, "When Frankenstein came out to you, if Frankenstein came out to you, you wouldn't have a problem because he was
Right.
just a fucking pansy ass German scientist,
Right.
and you could probably kick his ass with one arm." Now, as monster comes on,
That's
that's the
different.
problem right there.
Right.
But Frankenstein comes after you. Frankenstein, I'll take. I always told girls, I said, I can fucking take Frankenstein.
right.
I'd kick his ass.
Yeah.
One arm and kick Frankenstein's ass.
You know.
And they go like this, and he's, "Boy, you're bold." And they say, "You're not understanding what I'm saying." So hey, holy crap! See, this is what it's like. We've done 50.
We barely scratched the surface, Jim.
No, we haven't. We haven't, and so that means we can still come back. I mean, I could do an hour if you want, but I would like to do. The more you do the show, the more addictive it becomes,
Right.
and more comfortable. and the more comfortable your mother would be with the language that we have.
I guess.
Wait, I did allude to things, so I didn't say anything. We didn't curse.
You were fine.
We didn't say anything. Oh, actually, you may have said, who said the biggest curse word today?
Yeah, I think Liz
Me.
did.
Listen, what'd you say? Fuck?
Liz
Yes.
dropped the F-bomb. I
I
think.
did. I'm
Fuck,
sorry.
shit, goddamn, asshole. Give me your best Tourette syndrome.
Oh, God.
If you need to say, when you're serving someone, I don't want to get you in trouble, you're the boss.
Mom just asked when she can listen to it.
No, but when someone's really pissing you off, you go, you
That happened the other night.
fucking asshole,
Yeah.
motherfucker. Yeah.
That happened, what was that, Friday night?
Yeah.
What?
This lady didn't like her steak. She
Yeah.
was so mean.
Excuse me.
She was so bad.
What was it about the steak?
She didn't like the table. It was too dark. She didn't like her steak. It wasn't cooked well. She said the lime had no juice in it. And what's wrong with this place?
The lime didn't have any juice in it.
Yeah, but that was my fault. So I bought her more limes, and she
So
said,
it's like the
"These are
sun.
all
That's like
juicy."
you say sunlight's not warm.
Right,
Yeah, I have control of that. Yes. Oh, the wind. The wind's too strong.
It was really bad.
Lime isn't juicy.
Yeah, the
Yes.
lime isn't juicy. These are all unjuicy.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, it was really annoying.
So what did you call her?
Huh?
you didn't do anything. What would you like to call her?
I would like to call her many things.
Bitch face.
Yeah, bitch face is good.
Bitch face.
Yeah. And then they tipped me $20.
It's good.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
Was she the one paying?
No, he was, but
Oh, he
maybe
probably felt
liked
bad.
me.
He was just
Yeah, they
keeping it
probably felt
vessel.
guilty.
He was
His
going.
brand new. This is the guy in the brand new with the fold mark Bass Pro Shops T-shirt that he just bought before he came there. It had like the folds in it still.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was funny, but and to get a filet mignon well done is a crime anyway. So I should have kicked her out rather than in there.
He had a filet mignon well
They
done.
had a filet mignon and a porterhouse both well done. I wanted to cry.
That right there tells you they're idiots.
Like, what is wrong with you? It's a $32 steak, and sent it back twice.
Why didn't you just take your loafers off and have them cook that up? Because that's shoe leather.
Sent
at
it back
that
to
point.
be cooked twice because it was too rare, and it was like brown. I can't eat a steak not rare.
Bring them out a pair of flip-flops. Here's your steaks.
Yeah, give me like extra rare, and I'm happy. Cook it on the outside, and I'm happy.
Well, I don't understand eating a steak like that.
I don't either.
And I don't like chicken. People worry you. But I don't like chicken too dry.
No, as long as it's not pink.
I've eaten it pink.
That's dangerous.
I know.
No,
When did I have that?
you're rolling the dice.
I did
Yes,
not.
I am. Well, you are with, with oysters. Think about that. What do we have in every restaurant to serve oysters?
What?
A disclaimer on the wall.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Eating raw selfish.
Selfish.
Selfish. It's selfish. It is selfish
To
and
eat
shellfish.
shellfish.
It's selfish, and it could cause serious health risk.
Yeah. But
So if you have to,
So can
hang that up there, it's like saying, well, if you had a shot that was a signature shot that you had to light on fire,
yeah.
and say you can burn your face.
Yeah.
If you didn't, well, it's really good. It's
But it's
it
really
could either
good.
it could burn, it could disfigure you,
Flaming Dr.
or it'd be
Pepper.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be really good,
There's
but or you
no
can burn your
in-between.
face. You'll look like Sandor Clegane.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's right.
I like how
You made a
looped-
tie-in,
I
right?
like how you looped that back
You like
around.
that? That's what I
That
do.
was quite the segue.
Okay. I want to thank you guys for being wonderful hosts. It was a beautiful day. The sun's out.
And I want to
Gorgeous.
thank Hunter for leaving the house today because Hunter is our dog and he's very mean.
Why did you leave the house?
Because he's mean, nasty, a little animal.
Well, then we have the dynamic mics. If he's barking, that's all right.
We have the meanest Pomeranian.
Will he bite me?
Yeah, he'll bite you.
Oh yeah.
Will he bite me like multiple times?
No, he'll bite you once.
I'll let him bite me once. Then get over it.
He's the cutest, furriest, meanest thing you've ever seen in your life.
You know what? I don't really. I like I said, I have empathy. I realize it's a dog.
Maybe he won't bite
Right.
you, but he'll
just wouldn't
scope
be
you
happy.
out
He
and
just wouldn't be
decide.
happy.
He'll decide if he likes you or not. No, he might like him.
He might.
But he'll
might.
decide if he likes you. But if he doesn't like you,
No, he'll like. You know
He'll
what?
probably like
I
you.
get along. I get along with animals.
Then he'll probably
I don't
like you.
hate. I don't have a dog I hate.
Right.
yeah. He'll
I
probably
got
like
bit
you.
by a Rottweiler
Ooh.
at
Hmm.
Key Largo Park, and I was looking at an apartment on the second floor of a house, a beautiful house, when I first moved down here. And I walked in and I said, "Oh, is your dog friendly?" You go, "Yeah." And I reach over and it latched onto my arm. I hit it under the jaw,
Ooh.
so it let me go. And I'm bleeding.
Wow.
And I go, do you have soap and stuff like that? Can I get it? I'm asking for antibacterial stuff. They're
Yeah.
not giving me. I wrap it in a towel. And it's right on this arm. A pretty good bleed. Not where I had to go to a doctor or anything
Yeah.
like that. I just cleaned it out with soap and stuff, and I wrapped it in towels. They didn't have anything for me, like Band-Aids and anything.
Jeez.
And after I was done in the bathroom, they said, do you want to look at the place? I said, is that your dog? And they go, yeah. No, I don't want to look at the place.
Not now.
I said, if that's what I'm looking forward, every time I come home late, I'm a bartender. I'm going to be coming
Yeah.
home, and your dog's going to be right on the ledge. And,
That's it.
and I didn't call. I didn't, I didn't call.
Right.
That's crazy.
I didn't call the police department or anything like that. You know why? I'm not going to be responsible for that dog. And you know what? I know the dog can probably hurt it. I know the dog can hurt a kid. I'm sorry if you missed the whole conversation. I know the dog can hurt a kid, but I don't want to be responsible for him being destroyed.
Yeah,
Right.
I know.
Right.
I don't know what's going through that dog's head.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
See, but most dogs like me, and every so often you get mad dogs. I've been chased by him.
He'll probably like you.
Yeah, but
I've been chased by a dog in this neighborhood. Some brown dog chases me on my bike all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like that little brown pit bull, remember?
because he likes you.
Yep.
He chases me.
Because he likes you.
Maybe.
Yeah.
My dog doesn't even like me.
Okay. Well, look at that. We're almost at it. We're almost at an hour. There's my glasses right on my head. 56 minutes. Well, we're going to sign off and thank Steve and
Thank
Lizzie.
you.
Thank
Come on.
you.
This is Jim, the Keys bartender. I'm going to put the music back on. You can hear it. We can jive to it. Oh, remember. Wait, let me bring this back.
Thank you.
Yeah, leave us a review on iTunes if you can, if you hear me. So, thank you very much. You like it?
I love it.
It's funky.
Love it.
Can you say one dirty thing? Say something.
Eat shit.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Eat shit.
I don't know.